tell me a little bit, what types of plans are available out there for owners?
Let's start real easy. If you are alone working, and you have no employees, you could simply do a SEP plan, SEP. It's like a glorified IRA. It's not, I'm just saying it acts like a glorified IRA.
Okay.
And this year, I think you put $58,000 in a SEP plan. So somebody that owns their own business, even like, I'm going to use an example of a real estate agent, anybody that owns a business, you can put away up to 25% of your income, and it's a write-off, and you can put away up to $58,000, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
If you have a few employees, you could do what they call a simple plan, but you got to match everybody. So if you do a simple plan, there's no big documents. It's real easy. You have to have under 100 employees, but you can put, now I forgot the limits, but it's a lot less limits than, I think it's around 15 grand a year.
Okay.
And the simple plan is like a 401k, but a lot less expensive, a lot less cumbersome. You don't have a TPA or an administrator. But the cost of having a simple plan from the owner standpoint is you're matching everybody 3% of what they put in, 3% of their income. So if you had, I'm just going to use a simple number, if you had 100,000 was your payroll, then it could cost you up to 3,000 matching people, $3,000 a year.
Okay.
So it does cost money. So if you're, again, a small business and you find out that that simple plan is too expensive, your match ends up to be $10,000 a year, then I say to them, listen, why don't we just go to a 401k? And a 401k, you have the investment, you have the TPA that manages it, and a 401k, as a business owner, you do not have to match.
Oh.
So that makes it a little bit easier that a company could own a 401k for maybe, I'm going to say less than $2 grand a year, 1,500, depending on how many employees you have. So again, don't quote me on exact prices, but you get the idea that a small company for a few $1,000s a year could have a 401k plan. And the main thing to remember about a 401k is if you're the business owner and you're thinking you're going to put a whole lot of money in this 401k, just remember you're limited to how much your employees put away. So if your employees put away a lot of money, you get a lot of participation, then you will be able to put money away. But if you can't, if your employees aren't putting the money away, you can't either. And I'm not going to go into it, but I'll tell you just for informational purposes.
Sure.
There's a 401k plan out there called Safe Harbor. And if you choose to match all your employees, then you as the owner can put the max in the plan too. So you've got the SEP, you've got the simple, you got the 401k. Let's say you're listening to this right now and you said, listen, I have employees, but I really can't afford, a few thousand a year. I'll tell you something, you can do what they call a payroll deduction IRA. So you can offer a payroll deduction that all your employees could put money in an IRA, Roth or traditional, and it only costs you the line item on your payroll. So you're not matching, you're not paying any costs. It's just you're giving the employees an opportunity, to save money in an IRA, and they're getting a group discount.
Oh, that's
discounts based on the whole group rather than an individual. And so that's kind of cool. Free is nice.
Yeah.
So as an employer, there's things you can offer that you don't have to, break the bank. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if I got more complicated, there's profit sharing that goes with your 401k. There's cash balance plans out there. There's a lot of, cash balance plans for older people. I'm going to say 50 plus. I mean, you could put hundreds of thousands away and write it off. And I think a lot of owners don't know that. Interesting. Yeah, it is.
So that again goes to show why having someone that you trust in a professional, again, that you trust, who knows their stuff, to talk to them about this stuff, because, business owners are busy running their day-to-day business. But also, this stuff is important because if you think about the recruitment situation that's going on right now, and how hard it is to find employees, and a lot of people are expecting that you're going to offer some of these things through your organization. So so rather than just say, oh, I guess we can't compete, I think it's important for people to recognize there are options. And so at least to have that conversation, for owners to do that before they just blow it off and say, no, I can't do this.
I agree. And you don't want to just go by a plan. You want to kind of weigh the differences. It's more complicated than you think. I'm trying to make it sound simple, but there's a lot to it under the covers.
Absolutely. Oh, that's
Yeah.
very interesting. Okay, good. So whether you have employees or not, there's an option for you. So
There is.
that's good to know.